Hey, Chad here. Today I'm going to tell you why waiting for a better time to do something is actually a trap. So, if you're waiting for a better time to start something, you're never going to start it. Sounds kind of a bold statement. It's not that you'll never start it, but if you're waiting for some sort of clearing in your life, some sort of margin, some sort of white space, it's not going to happen by itself. And so if there's something that you know you want to get done, but you just don't have time for it, well, I suggest you move forward with it. Now, I'm not suggesting you stretch yourself too thin, but I am suggesting that you actually take a couple steps forward with that goal in mind, with that outcome that you desire, after making the decision that that's what you want to do. The main thing is knowing that's truly what you want to do. But if you know that's in the plans and that's something you want to do, and you feel like there's any hesitation to doing it because you're not sure how it's going to work out, or you don't know if you'll actually be successful or not, then take the opportunity to actually take a step of faith and put some action to your desire. What do I mean? So it was September this year in 2024. It's the last day of the year here that I'm making this video. It's kind of a reflective video. End of the month of September, I went down to see my coach down in Florida. Had some training on some content, creating content and things of that nature. Ended up, one of the speakers made a challenge to write a book. And they said, you can write a book in 14 days. And I've written books. I've written 3 books. These are technical books. So it was around programming, things of that nature. The first book that I ever wrote back in 2007, I did write in like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I forget exactly now if it's 6 weeks or 8 weeks. But either way, we'll just say less than 2 months. And it was a lot of work to get that done, but I knew that was doable. So when they said 2 weeks, 14 days, I thought, well, that's pretty aggressive. It's like, well, but I did that writing code and trying to explain the code and everything else, so maybe it can be done. Now, I was already maxed out with my time because I was creating 2 videos a week, made that commitment back in August. So I was going to create 2 videos a week for 5 years, and I've been doing that. But this book was something I knew I wanted to get done. I just had on my list for next year to get started on sometime in 2025. But after that challenge, I was like, okay, I'm going to need to actually take some steps to do this because I know I need to get it done. So I went ahead and did it. And I figured this is going to force me to actually work smarter, because I'm not going to sit here and teach things on my YouTube channel and say, this is how you work smarter by thinking harder, and create this book ultimately, but not actually be able to do what I'm saying, right? So this is a way for me to actually force myself to take what I've learned as a consultant for the last, 20 some years, almost 30, and apply those same principles on how I was able to get more done and ultimately earn more there. Take those same principles and apply it to my life right now as I'm teaching others and creating the videos and creating the book and creating funnels to sell the book and doing my challenge and the funnel to do the challenge and my email sequences and just everything that goes with actually building up a new part of the business. So it's like, I am not going to sacrifice my family to do this, something I would have done in the past before I learned these lessons. I'm not going to sacrifice my own health to do this, something I would have done in the past before I learned my lessons. And so I made the decision to write the book. Now, is the book done? The book is not done, but the manuscript is completed. I'm in the editing phase right now. I have a pre-order page. If you want to go and pre-order the book, you can do so. My expectation is to have this done by the end of January. So my expectation is to have the book done by the end of January 2025. But if you're interested in the book, you can go grab that. It's worksmarterbook.com. But the whole point of this video is to encourage you to not wait until you have some margin in your life. Don't wait until you have some white space in your life to do the thing that you know you need to do. Now, that being said, white space and margin is important. For so many years, I ran without any kind of margin. There's no white space. And so if something didn't go according to plan, then I got in all kinds of trouble from a standpoint of just anxiety of not getting the stuff done like I knew I needed to do, because I didn't give myself enough time to do it. It was unrealistic expectations, partially. And so the result was I would, I did that when I was an employee, and I would just make sure I got the work done, or I did when I was a consultant, and I just make sure my clients were taken care of. And then I would make sure my daughters were taken care of, and tried to make sure my wife was taken care of, but usually failed at that, and then definitely failed on taking care of myself from getting enough sleep or anything else. And of course, that just exasperated the problems of trying to do this work without actually having, your full mental capacity. So in the past, I've definitely ran without any margin. And I wanted to make sure that as I was teaching things, that I was actually living by what I was teaching. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. No, absolutely not. Not even a little bit there. But I also knew, since this is forefront in my mind, this is what I'm trying to help people with, is, hey, you can live your life in such a way that you can get accomplished what you want to get accomplished and have fulfillment in your life without destroying your life and destroying those around you. So pretty much put this to the test on myself over these last few months. Now, did I get that book written in 2 weeks? I did not, right? It took me about 4 to get the manuscript completed. And then since then, it's taken me a lot longer to actually do the editing for it, just because of the fact of all these other items that I am getting done and working on. So that being said, I have made the commitment to get the book done, by January of 2025. So time is going back into editing the book. But it made me think about the fact that I made the commitment to actually write the thing, and I did. And, going through the editing process is taking a little bit of time, because when you write something, draft is more like, flow of thought. You're trying to get everything out of your head on paper. And then you go back through and you do your editing, and you make sure that things are flowing well, and, things of that nature, right? But it's very difficult to try to write and edit at the same time, just kind of blocking yourself off. So my whole point of this video, looking back on 2024, is when I started in 2024, I wasn't planning, I was just planning on continuing to do consulting. But I realized halfway through the year that something I wanted to do for a long time but never had the courage to do was to actually help others. I wanted to be a coach to actually help other consultants not fall in the same traps that I fell into. But I was concerned that, well, maybe it won't work out. It'll fail. Therefore, I'm just not going to take any action, because if I don't try it, then I can't fail at it, right? But this is something that I've been thinking about for years. And finally, I was like, you know what? Now's the time. So took the actions, trying to determine, okay, what's the best way to get this, part of the business off the ground. And I knew that long-term strategy would be YouTube videos. And so I appreciate the fact that you're watching this YouTube video right now. But also know that making YouTube videos today isn't going to necessarily help me today. It may, but it should actually help me in the future once I become good at making these videos, making them concise, making them valuable. Of course, I'm trying to make them valuable now. That's my goal. I think they're valuable, but just because I think that doesn't mean that they are. So let me know. Let me know how I can make these videos more valuable to you. Things I can talk about. If I don't make something clear enough, let me know. If I go on and on about some topic too much, let me know. Because I'm making these for you. You're watching them. I'm making it for you. So you let me know. Made that commitment to do the videos. Made the commitment to actually help others that desired my help. Added the commitment to create the book. I already am running this challenge. I run about once a month, relatively. I have another coming up here soon. So you can join that challenge at the Work Smarter Challenge or worksmarterchallenge.com. There's no the in front of it, just worksmarterchallenge.com if you're interested in joining my challenge. The challenge, the book, the whole premise of them is working smarter by thinking harder. And it's a guide to actually doubling your revenue by working half the time. It sounds a little gimmicky, a little markety-y. But the principles are real. They work. So if it's something you're interested in, figuring out how you can reclaim more of your life, get some white space, then you may want to check that out. But I will encourage you, don't wait for the white space. Don't wait for the margin to take your first step on the next thing you want to accomplish. Don't wait for perfect timing, because you have to actually make the timing perfect instead of waiting for the perfect timing. Okay. So I hope this video was helpful to you. Again, if there's a way I can improve them, please let me know. I've thoroughly enjoyed making these videos for the last half a year, well, at least since August when I rebooted this channel. So I appreciate you watching these, and I hope you had a great 2024. And regardless, I really hope that you're going to have a fantastic 2025. I cannot believe tomorrow is January 1st, but here we are. Another year is done and dusted. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Chances are you'll like this one because YouTube thinks you will.